What's happening, people? It's Shek from It's His Sound. Okay, so today's topic, let's get straight into this rap voice. How to get your rap voice. Let's get into it. Okay, before we go any further, I'd just like to welcome anybody who's new to this and not seen this channel before. We are It's His Sound. I am Shek Music, and we discuss different tips, tricks. We also have instrumentals. We have a lot of content that's upcoming. We also have stuff on www.itshissound.com that's already available for anybody that wants to go and check that. The link's in the description. So, rap voice. It's a bit hard to tell somebody how to sound because everybody in the world sounds so different. That's the thing. Maybe you've never done this, I don't know. But when I was younger anyway, like I used to have this like little thing about recording myself, just recording my voice. I used to love it. My mum bought me this little red and yellow little tape recorder little thing. I used to find it fascinating because people used to buy me tapes, right? And I used to be proper cheeky like and get tissue paper and put it in the top of the tape. Basically, I figured out that you could record over whatever you wanted. So once I figured that out, I was making my own stuff. Like I was trying to make my own radio show, putting my own music in there. I was singing on there, doing all sorts of rubbish. It was just basically, it was a bit of madness. But I can see, like I say, how I found it quite easy to find my rap voice because I've always just experimented with different ways, and I always do it like when I'm taking the mic, like with my girlfriend. I'll just put a silly voice on, and it's just about basically just being able to express your voice. Everybody has a unique voice. You've got to be able to express it. Practice makes perfect. How do you tell somebody how to sound? Like I say, it's a bit hard. Listen to how you sound already. Like maybe try recording yourself, like I was telling you in that story there. See what you sound like. I used to find it was so funny when I used to hear my voice back. I don't know if anyone else has ever had that experience before. Comment below if you've had that experience before. When you hear a recording of your voice back and you like, all of a sudden you like, your ears prick up to it. You're like, hey, is that what I really sound like? Like what the, do you know what I mean? So if someone can help me out, one of my watchers, you can help me out because I don't know what it is. I've not researched into that, but as far as I know, like there is something scientific about it, basically to do with like how you hear yourself. It's a bit different. You need to practice listening to yourself as well. I would say that because most people, I find as well when I'm recording them, especially females, always seem to be, when they hear themselves back, they're like, oh no, I don't like it, even if it was a good take. So you need to get used to hearing your own voice. First things first, you need to know what you sound like. You don't sound like what you think you sound like in your head. That's everyone, not just females, males as well. Everyone, rappers, singers. You don't sound like what you think you sound like, so you need to kind of train yourself to know what you sound like. Another thing as well is don't feel like you have to keep the same voice. Like, yeah, people have iconic voices, rap voices, singing voices. But what I would say is like there's people who are like big in the industry that have like over time they've changed how they sound to just be better. For a rapper, we could probably say even Gigs, let's say. When he first came out, I wouldn't say he's changed, but the content he was talking about has changed a little bit. But like I say, it's more about the voice. Like he's always had that deep voice, but if you listen to how he comes with his ad libs now, like his ad libs, he kind of rinses them. I don't know if anyone else feels that, but that's because they're iconic ad libs now. So obviously he can do that. When I was younger, Rick Ross, when I first listened to him and he had that tune, what every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling. How he sounded on that track compared to like how he talks now on the tracks and that, like his voice is so deeper now and he's like boss and comes with all that stuff. Like he never used to be like that. Like not when I used to listen to him. He had a few tracks like that, but not proper going in now. Like now he's like he's the boss now, isn't it? You get me? So obviously his voice has changed to go along with that. It's just something to think about, basically, just showing you there. You don't have to keep the same voice. If you think you can do a change to the voice that's going to make it sound better, then experiment with it. Try it. Have you thought about how you already sound? Like, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe you're the only person that thinks it sounds bad. Have you asked other people what you sound like? Because to be honest, yeah, you might be all right. You just need to just figure that out. Do a bit of experimenting. Record yourself so that you've got something to actually gauge against. Some people don't even know. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh no, I don't like my voice, but they've not even ever recorded themselves, which I find strange. So I don't know how you'd know that, like, because like I said, you can't talk and forget it. Most people don't like the sound of their own voice, but you have to remember, especially for a male, especially if you're a young male, your voice is like a bit of a journey. Like to us men, as men, like your voice changes. Like I never used to sound like this. I sound more like this probably when I was at school, like talking like this all the time. But then your balls drop, innit? Your voice gets deep. Like so, an example of that would be like Bieber. When he was younger, he had that voice, didn't he? He was that baby. Oh, he was the kid, weren't it? But then as soon as his balls dropped, like, I'm not saying he lost all his fans, but there was people that used to love him off where they probably don't like him no more. And obviously, as he got older, his whole, we won't go into that, his whole life changed, didn't it? Like, his whole, how he sees life and stuff changed. So basically, that kind of changed how he was singing and what he was singing about. But the point I'm trying to make here again is his voice changed. And he had to go with that. He had no choice because it got deeper. So, like I say, it's a journey, innit? It changes over time. So just think about that. Especially males. Females, I don't know, it don't really affect you unless you got some secret Adam apples or something that you're not telling us about. But other than that, your voice as a male will change over time. Females, I don't know. Also, I'd like to say, this is for everyone, think about the kind of songs that you actually make. Does your voice match that sound that you're trying to create, basically? Like, for example, like if you're making some country and western, then it's probably best not to use the auto-tune, like, and stick it on 100%, is it really? Because it's not going to sound great, is it? Have you thought about how your tone, like, for example, if you got a really squeaky voice like this, and you got a really squeaky voice, and you're trying to rap, and then that's how you're going to rap on the mic, and then you're trying to do some hard hip-hop talking about how you moving the big packs and that, then I don't know, it might not work. Have you got the right sound to go with what you're trying to create? And if you haven't, then rewind the video if you have to. It's a journey, isn't it? You need to figure all these things out. The sound of music changes all the time as well. So that's always like why artists always have to change. Another thing I'd say is tones. You need to think about changing the tone of your voice. Don't just be monotone. I've heard it time and time again. People I've had in my own studio, to be honest, like over the years, like monotone. And it's so dead. It's so boring. I don't want to hear no more monotone rappers. Like, sometimes there's things that even auto-tune can't say. If you go in there and you're just, this is my bars, I'm going to spit my bars like this. I've got no expression, but I'm going to spit my bars like this. No one can help you. Not even the producer can help you with that, man. So try and get it together. Make sure that what you're going in there with is actually workable, okay? Tones. Make sure you've got some different tones to your voice. Don't just talk all low all the time. What I mean by that is, think about some of the songs that are out like that. No Stylist. All them kind of songs, like, they're big. You know what I mean? But they don't just rap on some monotone when they're spitting in them songs. Like, these lot are going in. And even if you're not into that kind of rap, like, you could think about some old school rappers like Styles P or anyone like that. They don't just spit monotone. No rapper that's big spits monotone. Jay-Z, none of them. If you're thinking about pursuing this as a career, then you need to think about probably getting some vocal training. Because unless you're just going to rely on auto-tune and stuff like that, or you're just going to teach yourself, then yeah, you will get better over time. But if you are serious about this, then maybe look at maybe going for some vocal training, or at least vocal breathing training, I would say anyway, because that would be beneficial for anyone, even a rapper. So this isn't just to the females or just to the singers. This is to everyone. I'm saying, like, when we're rapping and stuff, especially if you're smokers, you need to think about this, because obviously you don't want to be going and doing Glastonbury or whatever festival or wherever you are, and you can't even spit your lyrics because you're out of breath, or you can't get the whole bar out because you've not done enough vocal breathing training, or you've not trained yourself to be able to spit the whole 64 or whatever it is, or do you know what I mean? It's not. It won't look good. It won't look good. Don't matter if you're a singer, producer, rapper. If you can't even breathe, then yeah, that's not good, mate. Too much sitting in front of computer screens and TVs and stuff. Yo, we're all getting fat out here. Not me, really. I'm not really getting fat, but hey, forget it. We'll just touch on one more thing before we end today's topic. I just want people to just take note of the things. I know there was a bit of funny stuff in there as well, but in all seriousness, just love your voice. It's unique, innit? Like, you need to learn how to use your voice. Like, no one can tell you how to use your voice the best. You need to, like, people can give you pointers on how to improve, but they can't tell you how to use your voice best, because guess what? Nobody sounds like you. Like, it doesn't matter how much you want to tell me. Even identical people, like identical twins and stuff, like, yeah, you might sound similar, but if we're going to get scientific about it, then yeah, you're not the same. So nobody's voice is exactly the same. So you can take that how you will. I'm just saying, like, basically everyone needs to learn to just work with what you got. Sometimes that's what it is as well. People are always trying to find the greener grass, but there is no greener grass. Just work with what you got, man. You know what I mean? Go with what you got and perfect that. This is Shek Music for It's His Sound. Thank you for watching. Signing out. Peace.